No one will ever try to tell you that Panda Express is legit Chinese food. It's something that just hits the spot, except for these items, which you should avoid at all costs.
Orange chicken. It's Panda Express's signature dish.
I love orange chicken.
It's delicious.
We love orange chicken! Yeah!
That's why we find it so surprising that some Panda Express employees claim you should never, ever order it. But how can that be? According to the company's official website, Panda Express served up 80 million pounds of orange chicken in 2016, and it's easily the chain's most popular entree.
Yep, there's nothing tastier than Panda Express orange chicken.
But in 2016, one Panda Express employee made a troubling admission on Reddit. Sometimes when the food gets dried up, we put uncooked sauce on it to make it more moisturized. This employee also claimed managers are okay with the sneaky practice, so long as customers don't see it happen. Obviously, there are some major problems here. Nobody wants to eat chicken that's been sitting out for a long time, and food handlers shouldn't be doing anything they wouldn't want customers to see. So when is the food at Panda Express at its least fresh? According to another employee, if you come to Panda Express at like 3 or 4, you'll be getting the food that's been out the longest. So now you know. Then again, even if your order of orange chicken happens to be as fresh as can be, you still might want to think twice before ordering it. You know it's super sweet and goopy, but how unhealthy is it? In 2018, Pei Wei Asian Kitchen embarked on the Way Forward, a clean label initiative that called on restaurants to be completely transparent when it comes to their ingredients.
Pei Wei's Way Better Orange Chicken is made with fresh, house-cut, all-white meat chicken, real orange slices, and it's made fresh to order.
Basically, the company acknowledged that customers have a right to know what they're buying and putting in their bodies.
Our guests definitely wanted more options, more flavors, better ingredients, higher quality offerings from our restaurants.
They even published the full list of ingredients for their Way Better Orange Chicken and challenged other restaurants to do the same. Pei Wei even called out Panda Express by name, but the chain didn't come forward with their list of ingredients for orange chicken. So Pei Wei did some homework and tweeted the list for them. Honestly though, they could have just posted the nutritional information for a similar effect. If you're craving orange chicken, it's actually super easy to make at home. You just need a few simple ingredients like spices, oranges, orange juice, chicken, and chicken broth. Yes, it really is that easy. So why pay someone else to make it for you?
The cream cheese rangoon is a polarizing item at Panda Express. Fans of crab rangoon will be disappointed to find out that this version of the appetizer doesn't contain any crab at all. The disappointing exclusion of crab isn't the only potential issue with this dish, though. A customer posted a picture of their order on Reddit, pointing to what looks like dust all over the surface. So what was it? A worker responded, explaining, "When we put stuff in the fryer, we're supposed to shake the basket over a pan to get rid of crumbs and skim the oil, and if you don't do this, it will build up, so it's just breading we put on the meat." Others agreed that this was likely the case, adding that the oil was probably old and in need of replacement. And your order itself might not be fresh either. According to one employee, "My store doesn't make them to order, but they are the least popular appetizer, so that's probably why." One of the more overlooked entree items on the menu is the string bean chicken breast. The wok-cooked dish consists of chicken breast, string beans, and onions mixed with a ginger soy sauce. Many employees say that it's not very popular at their stores, with most batches going uneaten. Some locations have even replaced it with a different dish, according to employees. Workers dislike making the entree, citing temperamental ingredients. One employee wrote on Reddit, "We all hate the chicken. Gets the oil dirty fast and easy to burn." But that's not all that can go wrong. Another employee wrote that the dish has a limited lifespan, which creates a burden for staff who have to constantly prepare fresh batches. They added, "It's a pretty simple recipe, but it gets really clumpy if you let the sauce set up just a second too long." Chow mein is one of the most popular sides.
I'm ready to chow down on some chow mein.
However, many people have had bad experiences with the dish. Stir-fried with cabbage, onions, and celery, it's sometimes lacking in one thing: the noodles. After one Redditor posted a picture of their sorry-looking chow mein, a worker at the chain commented that they probably received the last of the noodles, resulting in a plate of cabbage. What happens is all the veggies go to the bottom of the serving wok. One employee shared that their store first microwaves the noodles in plastic bags before throwing them into the wok, but the noodles noodles are often microwaved into oblivion, raising questions about the safety of heating plastic beyond the recommended time. They wrote, "Even if the plastic bag that the noodles are in is microwave safe, I'm pretty sure some of its chemical components go into the noodles every time it exceeds the 1.5-minute mark." Panda Express's mushroom chicken is made up of mushrooms, zucchini, and chicken, and cooked in a ginger soy sauce, and the wok-tossed classic is difficult to get right, according to employees. One worker wrote on Reddit, "Most people who cook it at my store make it soupy, and it just looks unappetizing. This might explain why the entree is not so popular at some locations." Another worker wrote, "It was the worst-selling item at my store. It would sit for hours at a time. Hours-old anything doesn't sound appetizing." Others wrote that the portion sizes also tend to be smaller. Unlike the more sugary menu options, the mushrooms don't stick together as well when scooping. Since employees can only give customers one scoop per serving, mushroom chicken fans may leave feeling shortchanged. Panda Express's grilled teriyaki chicken is another dish that varies in quality. While slicing, grilling, and dousing chicken in teriyaki sauce sounds simple, a lot can go amiss. Grilling raw chicken requires a watchful eye, but it doesn't always get the attention it needs. Workers on Reddit revealed that the chicken is regularly undercooked, with one writing, "Sometimes employees forget to flip it. It has to be flipped 3 times, and will serve a whole batch raw." On another post, a customer complained about their chicken's slimy, rubber-like texture. The teriyaki chicken uses thigh meat, which contains a good deal of fat and sometimes bones. A Panda employee wrote, "Many people don't know that once the timer goes off, it's good to let it sit another minute or two to let it fully cook." The fried rice at Panda Express contains all the familiar ingredients: rice, egg, peas, carrots, green onions, and soy sauce. Yet many believe that it falls short. One employee confessed that every cook prepares it differently, leading to inconsistency. They wrote, "We have a recipe to follow, but it's not always going to be exact due to people not doing exact measurements or not washing the rice. Unwashed rice is a problem, since if you skip this crucial step, the excess starch in the rice might result in a gummy texture when cooked. The type of rice at the base of the dish is also at fault. While the restaurant's website currently lists white rice as the main ingredient, employees say this isn't always the case. In the past, the recipe has switched between calling for white rice and brown rice, with the latter being much less popular among customers and workers. Several employees recommended that customers avoid the side altogether, with one writing, "You can make a better meal at home." The super grains are touted as a healthier choice, consisting of broccoli, cabbage, and kale. While this low-calorie option is a good source of fiber, the veggies aren't immune to problems. Some Redditors reported a strange taste when eating the side dish. While several employees attributed this to the recipe's salt and garlic soup base, others had a more sinister explanation, with one speculating it was a cleaning agent. Could be irresponsible closers letting their chemicals into the water blancher and not cleaning it after. The wrong texture can also be off-putting. There's nothing more unappetizing than a limp piece of broccoli or a soggy pile of cabbage. One worker wrote that the veggies become soft within minutes of sitting under the heat lamps. Broccoli beef is another customer favorite. The simple dish consists of pieces of beef and broccoli cooked together in a wok with a ginger soy sauce. However, both customers and employees have one big complaint about the dish. There's simply too much broccoli. On a Reddit post appropriately titled "Broccoli Beef, but the beef is silent," a customer shared a photo of their floret-heavy plate. In the comments, Panda employees jumped in to say that this was all too common. One explained, "Sad thing is that this is how much beef they want us to give. It's way not enough." One employee even revealed that they would get in trouble with their manager if they served customers extra beef, and urged customers to choose a different entree. In another thread, employees echoed this sentiment, writing, "It's 80% broccoli and 20% beef. If I gave you more beef, the next person would get even less beef because we gave more to you."
Where's the beef?
You may be tempted to try the black pepper Angus steak, a premium option that promises a mix of broccoli, onions, bell peppers, and steak seared in a spicy black pepper sauce. But you may want to save your money, for workers have revealed some questionable details about the meat at the heart of the dish. Apparently, the steak arrives at the store already cooked, as explained by one employee who wrote, "This new steak sucks. It's pre-cooked and soaked in plum juice to look raw." Other employees compared the steak to eraser bits or dog food. Some also complained about the meat's disagreeable smell, with one worker admitting to calling it hot dog steak. While hot dogs might be a step up from dog food, this doesn't exactly boost confidence. Adding to the concerns, the steak suffers from a dry and tough texture. One worker blamed these shortcomings on the steak's pre-cooked nature, with others suggesting this makes it prone to overcooking on the wok. Repulsed by the sight, smell, and texture, not to mention the mystery of how long ago the meat was actually cooked, workers give this dish a hard pass. Vegetarians everywhere rejoiced when Panda Express announced a collaboration with Beyond to deliver a plant-based version of its signature orange chicken. The limited menu item drew many fans, who have since expressed disappointment at the chain's failure to enshrine it as a permanent offering. Panda employees aren't exactly mourning the Beyond orange chicken, however. Despite public acclaim, many workers reported that the dish just didn't sell in some regions. When the chicken was on the menu, one employee said that it always sat at the steam table and got old and gross. Part of this reaction might stem from difficulties in cooking the plant-based protein. One worker was particularly bothered by the Beyond Chicken's foul, cheesy smell. Employees also warned that they cook the protein in the same fryer and wok as real meat, meaning it's not even truly vegetarian or vegan. And it's hard to prepare, with one worker writing, "It would always stick and burn to the bottom of the pans." Everyone loves the convenience of a drive-thru. The ability to order, pay, and receive your food without leaving the comfort of your car is a huge win for anyone on a tight schedule. While you may associate drive-thrus with chains like McDonald's and Taco Bell, you can also enjoy this perk at many Panda Express locations. But before you get behind the wheel and head to your nearest store, you might want to hear what employees have to say about working the drive-thru. One worker wrote on Reddit, "I work at Panda Express. If you've never been there, please go inside to actually see the food. Please don't go through the drive-thru."
I refuse to play your Chinese food mind games.
By going inside, you can get a better idea of what you'd like, and avoid holding up the drive-thru line while making your decision. More importantly, when you order from the drive-thru, it's impossible to visibly gauge the freshness of your favorite dishes. When it's a slow day, food may sit under the heat lamps for a long time. You might open your takeout at home only to discover soggy orange chicken. Or you may find that you've been dealt broccoli beef that's more greens than meat. And cleanliness is also an issue at some drive-thru locations, with one worker writing, "My store is a common victim of the inspector because of people going from money to food, and it's the biggest pain. All things considered, your safest bet is to park your car and order inside."
What's another food item that you should stay away from? The honey walnut shrimp, which really isn't worth the money. Panda Express just does not get this one right. What the dish should do is strike a balance between sweet and savory flavors. As Thrillist points out, however, Panda Express's version is a bit, quote, too sweet, too goopy, and not crunchy enough. This was confirmed by a Serious Eats article, which also felt the dish was gloopy. Overall, this is an underwhelming meal to order when you have better options. Not only is the taste questionable, but it's also high in calories. According to Very Well Fit, the honey walnut shrimp is probably one of the unhealthiest items on the menu. As per the brand's nutritional calculator, it has 360 calories, 23 grams of fat, 3.5 grams of saturated fat, 440 milligrams of sodium, and 35 grams of carbs with just 13 grams of protein. It's simply not an ideal dish for those looking to eat moderately healthy. Even if the honey walnut shrimp were tastier and healthier, there's another big problem here. If you're the kind of person who needs to be sure about where your food is coming from, you may be a bit alarmed by what you're about to hear. The brand doesn't advertise where it sources its shrimp. A curious Redditor did ask this question, wondering whether Panda Express employees could shed some light on the topic. Another user wrote that as per the box, the shrimp is sourced from Idaho and is safe to consume. Not everyone is convinced, however. A Quora user wrote that they don't trust shrimp at restaurants in general because they can never be sure about the source. This is a valid point, considering that the shrimp industry is a murky one. The World Wildlife Fund reports that shrimp farming causes negative environmental and social impacts. Overall, it's a tricky space that isn't regulated as much as it should be. Plus, shrimp isn't a very appetizing option when you really get down to it. As Sciencing explains, shrimp eat, among other things, plant matter, dead fish, clams, snails and crabs, worms, and any other decaying organic matter they find.
Here, shrimpy, shrimpy, shrimpy. That's not a shrimp!
If at this point you're still craving shrimp, your best bet is to buy it from a store that you can trust. There are plenty of copycat honey walnut shrimp recipes available online, so you can make this dish yourself. You can almost certainly whip up something more appealing in your own kitchen that is healthier, tastier, and perhaps a bit less questionable.